I'm Christine. Welcome to the Recovering Perfectionist Podcast, where I empower you to develop sustainable habits, challenge society, and take messy action. It's time to align with the universe for the full human experience and redefine what it really means to be successful.
It's too good, the secret is out and wow.
Welcome back to the Recovering Perfectionist Podcast. I am so excited. We are here partnering again with the dance wellness community, and I am with another one of our incredible practitioners. Welcome, Oreste Alitto.
Thank you so much, Christine. I'm very happy to be here and talk with you and to everybody who's listening.
Awesome. Just like if you guys have listened to our other episodes with our other practitioners, same concept. We're going to start with the 3 questions so you understand exactly what you're getting from Oreste. So Oreste, I'm so glad that you're here. Thank you so much for participating and being a part of our community. I want to start by asking, what do you specialize in?
All right. So I specialize in helping other professional dancers to escalate their business, define it, and how to help others in a more efficient and fun way.
I love it. We do have one of our practitioners we've already chatted with, Louis Barr. He's our business and branding coach. He helps you find your wow factor. And it's a lot of like outside of the ballroom industry. So like, obviously it's always good to have diversify your portfolio and understanding how to get to have multiple seeds planted. But what you're focusing on really is helping people understand how to be as successful as they can be within the industry and understanding all of the ways that they can benefit from different parts of our industry.
Yes, you said it very, very right. And what I believe that we are, and when I say we, I mean professional dance teachers, we are so much more than just professional dance teachers. We have a lot to give, and often we are unaware of this. So basically what I do, I help people starting from your own message, starting from your own story, you find your own message, and starting from the life lessons that you learned in your life, you discover how much more value you can give to your existing community. And therefore, once you give more value to your existing community, it's more likely that this will expand. And so
what you give comes back.
Exactly. And it's also a way to spread awareness of what you do is from doing it.
Absolutely.
So what I do, I realized on myself that once I got clarity of my own story and I got clarity of the message that my story helps me giving to others, then I realized everybody becomes very unique. And then once you discover that, you realize I can help in so many different ways, and it would be fun to do it. And so once there is this realization, then I step in to help the person how to actually make sure that all these streams, all these channels, all this way of helping can actually become not only remunerative, and that's how you escalate the business, but they can actually make an impact on other people's lives.
Oof, I love that. That's like taking it to another level. It's not just benefiting yourself and the person you're teaching, but also like, broader impact, which I like.
Yes, I think we have that in us, even in an evolutionary point of view. Like we want to do that. We want to give. And of course, everybody do in different ways. Mm-hmm. And that's why there is a discovery process first.
Right.
That is very important, but then the real fun starts. And
that's right.
Growth starts.
The real fun, yes.
Yeah.
So segueing into how long you've been doing this, how long have you been dancing and how long have you been coaching and consulting?
So I started dancing when I was 9 years old. I'm 32, so how's the math?
Yeah, right.
20 years.
We'll let them do the math.
No, you guys can do the math. I have been helping people in our industry since the very beginning, since I started working. I actually started teaching before the right age for doing this. I started teaching in Italy when I was 16, then officially, of course, when I was 18. And but in the last, I would say since 2022, so from 2, 3 years, that I started to really help others with through the coaching, particularly the professionals, to get better at what they do and to escalate their business. Before that, I've been focusing a lot in helping, particularly the amateur dancers, so the students. That gave me the land to actually try and experience and put in execution all the techniques that I've developed with the years, learning from my mentors. And again, a couple of years ago, I started having this need and this impulse to share this with other professionals so that they could do the same.
Very nice. Yeah. So other professionals, that was going to be my next question is who do you help? Who's really your target client?
My target client now are the professionals, dance teachers, and particularly, this question is always a bit tricky for me because I'm very happy to help every type of business, but I enjoy the most helping the new professional teachers, so the people that are starting being professionals and they haven't find their full identity yet as an entrepreneur and as a professional in the field. I've been helping also people that are already in the industry for many years and they've been doing already pretty well themselves, but the helping them with a rebranding, with a self-branding, and
Yes,
therefore
yes.
discovering new potential. So there is never too late to start over. It's never too late to find yourself. But yes, people that want to define who they are on a business point of view, professional dancers, of course.
Well, right, because kind of what you're talking about here is a whole different side of what we think a dance professional is. You
Right.
have a lot of it's no secret that a lot of our industry comes from Europe, Eastern European. Dancers come to the United States, they get to make a great new life for themselves. They work at a studio, they, find their way, they gain a clientele, they dance at competitions, they a lot of them compete professionally, so they're able to also get some personal achievement in there as well as make a business. But the business side specifically is very entrepreneurial versus working for a studio can come off very corporate, right? Or you know what I mean? For lack of a better word. We don't really have corporate in ballroom dancing, but if we did, it would be kind of like that. So to have that mindset, not everyone has that entrepreneurial mindset.
Right.
You're able to kind of give them the 101 and help them to get some foundational pieces into place.
Yes.
That allows, you know what I mean? I would love to talk more about that.
Yeah, no, you said it absolutely right. And I embrace the fact that everyone is different and that some people may feel more entrepreneurial, some people may feel like they wanna maybe follow a bit more. And it's totally fine. Like I have been helping people that are not ready to be entrepreneurial yet, but that they still want to start understanding how they could possibly become one day. Okay. Now, I believe that professional dancers, it's difficult for me to believe that we want to be professional dancers and somehow be corporate, like you say, forever. It's very difficult for me to believe that exists that kind of person. I always think one person might be not confident or not ready enough to embrace that aspect of creativity and of entrepreneurship yet, which is fine. I help these people embrace that aspect with the time they need, and with the pace they are ready to go for, right? But I believe that ultimately it's inevitable to start thinking that we represent something more than just a dance teacher to our students. We
Well, absolutely. And also it's a stepping stone. When you come from such a huge change from growing up in a different country with a different language and a different upbringing, and you have, pushed yourself in this particular skill and athleticism, and then you come to the United States, you get an amazing opportunity. There's a lot of paperwork that goes into that, and you have to make sure that people believe in you. And, at the beginning, you can have all of the drive and the hard work and all of that, but there could still be some gaps in your journey. And
right.
so sometimes you need to work at a studio, or you have to do something that is not necessarily the end goal, but it's a way to get started. So what you're helping
Exactly.
them do is to kind of move up the ladder.
Exactly, that's what I do, and of course, that's why my target is professional
Right,
teachers, because it assumes that you had an amateur career, and so you already went through a lot of what dancers go through. And I think
right,
we go through a very I don't want to say tough life, because of course there are a lot of people that are way less lucky than us. So tough life probably means something
right,
different. But we
right.
go through a lot of lessons, a lot of life lessons, and there is a tendency, unfortunately, to minimize everything to just I became a good professional dancer. There is so much more than that you have learned in during your life as a person and as a dancer, as an amateur
Right.
dancer. So what I really try to empower people with is like what you think might be um, given for granted for yourself. It's gonna be extremely useful for a lot of other people. So first of all, I help you recognizing all the skills beside being a good dancer and a good dance teacher, all
Mm,
the skills that you really have developed. And once you see them in front of you, and you can actually touch all these skills and all this ability and all these life lessons that you've learned, then you start thinking, oh my gosh, I can give so much more than what I'm actually giving. And
right.
you start realizing that also you as a person, you are so much more than what you think you are. So that's why I am now in a process to give a name to the program that I'm doing, because I never named it, okay? But now I'm
Okay.
in this period that I want to name it, and I was thinking to call it Meant to Be Pro. So what it means, like you have to see who you are right now, and you have
Mhm.
to see who you want to be, and you need to understand what it takes from you to go to from where you are to where you want to be, so that you can become who you were always meant to be. So this will be
I love
the
that.
story, the
Very
story
cool.
behind it. And I think sometimes we just don't see it because we don't give enough credit to our story. We don't give
Hmm.
out enough credit to what we have learned, because the fact that we have learned it seems like almost obvious to us, and we give it for granted. So
Right.
the initial part of my program, and I think is the most important part, is not even has even nothing to do with an actual business technique of any kind. It's about who you are, where you come from, and what
Hmm.
life lessons have you learned that other people need desperately. So it's
Right.
from that. And then, of course, I've developed certain um, tools that can help you um, oh my gosh, I missed the English word, that can help you stream these skills,
Yes.
these messages through, right?
Right.
Way that eventually you will benefit as an entrepreneur, and the people you're helping will benefit under the teaching that they get from out of it.
Right.
It's about going deeper. People think they need something, but usually what they need is the surface description of what they need. So I try to go deeper and deeper, and then you realize
The
that what
root
you're really
of
doing
what
is
is
just so
happening.
much more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're definitely leading by example. You have a lot of, as you said, tools, resources to help create a through line to everything that you're doing for your clients. You help them with dresses, you help them with hydration. Let's talk more about the subcategories that you do.
Nice. Thank you for asking me that. So, my creature, my business creature is called Dance Discover the Ballroom Experience. So
Okay.
it's my business, and it's called like this, obviously, because there is a discovery process of self
Cool.
uh, throughout dancing that leads you to become the person you were always meant to be, or the dancer you were always meant to be, the entrepreneur you were always meant to be, and so on.
Yeah.
So, of course, everything connects to dancing. So you mentioned about the dresses. I have had the extreme luck in my life to find my wife, which Eugenia, on top of being the best human being I know, she has incredible skills in dressmaking, handcrafting the dresses,
Hmm.
and also she's a hair and makeup stylist. These two
Wonderful.
skills are extremely important for our industry for obvious reasons,
Absolutely.
right? You go out
Right.
there as a dancer, you need to look good and you need to feel confident. So when I started dating her, I immediately felt that these skills should be, in a way, put at use, but not only actually, not the skill per se. What I really wanted, I thought, okay, now I have my students and I can help them researching how they want to look like. I can help them going through a discovery process of how you wanna, what message you wanna be, the dress you will wear,
Yes.
what part of your personality has to showcase. And it's not only about the look;
Mhm.
it's a more of an inner research. And Genia's skills of doing that just helped me help them to
Right.
what they really wanted. It's not about making a beautiful dress and that's it, or nicely made. That one, if you have the skills and you study that, I guess everybody can deliver. But
Well, it sounds like
it,
you're helping them create the vision, and then she's helping them bring the vision to life with,
like right,
you know.
and that's where the professional teacher
Mhm.
becomes essential, because I can do this with my students, but I couldn't possibly do the same thing with other people's students.
Right.
So there are some professionals that they, and I know this for a fact, that they constantly give advice on a fashion, and they constantly tell their student how they should be looking and stuff like that. But because it's not considered part of the service that you offer, the research
Right.
stays surface, and the final outcome is never what you really wanted. So what I try to explain to the teachers is that, guys, you don't have, if you don't have the skill of doing this, let's find the person that can actually help you with the practical skill of doing this, but we
Hmm.
need your help, and you need to work on this so that you will be able to really make your student or your client go through a journey of creation, using, of course, the ability of somebody else. It doesn't necessarily have to, in my case, it's my wife, but it could be somebody
Right.
else, you know. So
Right.
it's not, we are not mixing the businesses this way, but we help people, professionals, understanding that their own contribution to the creation, it's fundamental, and it will make that.
But it is a collaboration.
It
Because
is.
like I want to come back because I know we have a lot of exciting things to talk about with the water and everything, but you're kind of coming into a space here that I really want to discuss. We have another one of our practitioners. He specializes in helping the pro-am competitors prepare for competition
Oh,
mentally, physically, and we
yeah.
discussed with him on his episode that relationship between you and your instructor from a pro-am perspective. And
Yes.
it was, I mean, it was mind blowing to discuss this not only with an amateur student, but also to we really got into it. So what I want to discuss with you is how important it is to have that relationship and what goes into it from the professional standpoint, because they're the ones guiding this whole thing. The amateurs come in, they're doctors, lawyers, CEOs from other industries. They come into this industry, they're trying to escape their world. They want to have fun, they want to look glamorous, they want to win competitions, they want to enjoy. And our job as a professional, I believe, is to help guide them in that experience, as you're saying, through what they wear, how they dance, what they dance, what
Yeah.
competitions they choose. But I think that's usually what people think is their job as a professional is like, oh, I'm going to help them choose the competition. I'm going to teach them. I'm going to teach them everything they need to know so they look the best in front of the judges. But how important is that friendship? I don't want to blur the lines, but also the relationship between teacher student that it doesn't get too blurred, but also it doesn't get I don't want to say aggressive, but we've seen some teacher students where it becomes like, well, no, I'm in charge and what I
Mhm.
say goes. And the student doesn't have a lot of say. And they don't
Yes,
want, they're like, well, I don't know any better. So I'm not, I mean, why should I tell him what he already knows or she already knows? I'm coming in here as the student learning. But I believe the teacher's job is they're getting paid by the student. Their job is to facilitate the vision of the student. So I just want you to
exactly.
elaborate more on that because I've
Yes.
had conversations with a lot of professionals about this and it's all over the board.
Yeah, of course, everybody has a different approach. And now that I'll share what I believe, I don't mean that this is the only and the right way. Uh,
Totally. Yeah,
but
it's just
I
yeah.
think I agree with what you said. I start my ideas on everything I do in life starts with assumption that we, as individuals, we have the answers already inside of us,
Yeah.
and we might lack the tools and the skills to take them out and in a way that makes sense, right? So
Hmm.
the student, when you in this case we're talking about dresses, but then it can be translated in other aspect of dancing. But let's stay on the dresses just to make the
Sure.
example. The student knows how she will look the best. She doesn't know she cannot write it down. Let's put it like this. She cannot write it down and she cannot draw it, but she knows the real truth of what will really work.
Well, she knows how she's gonna feel. And you were talking
Exactly.
about confidence,
Exactly. So
you
the
know.
teacher has to commit to the communication, uh,
Right.
to make sure that he can help her or she can help him, depending who's the teacher and who's the student.
Correct.
And of course, with the ladies, there is a little bit more expression because men wear just the tux or stuff like that. But
Yes.
to bring up what will actually be the best for her. Now, very important. Here is where a lot of people get lost. Um, it's not one attempt, and it'll never be one attempt. You have to start somewhere and you need to take a risk that maybe what you will produce is not necessarily exactly the ultimate thing. That's fine. That's a process. So you try again
Hmm.
another time with the experience that you had, right? But the important is that it's not just a random try. We have to talk about it and we need to
Hmm.
listen our students, and then we need to be pliable mentally and creative to find what can work. Now, not everybody can do that immediately, staying to the fashion, right? That's why we, in our case, with my wife, we offer, before even a commitment, we offer a lot of conversation time, and before even we commit, because the maker of the dress will have something to say about it. The teacher will help the communication. The student will have something to say about it. And then we need to
Right.
put all these ideas
Well,
together.
that's the thing. It's a team. And I think
It's
that's what I was trying to get at is that anything, whether it's dress or choreography or dance competition choice, how long you stay, I mean, down to every little detail,
right.
um, what styles I'm going to dance, all of that. I think
Yeah.
that the teacher and the professional has the experience of what has worked in the past, what the judges are looking
Exactly.
for,
Exactly.
I mean, I don't want to downplay that at all. The teacher
No.
and the professional has the experience of this person coming in completely, blank slate, and they're
Unaware.
going to guide
Yeah.
them. Yeah,
Yeah.
what'd you say?
Well, again, no, I say unaware. The students arrive completely unaware of what's around.
Unaware, yeah. But the student also, it's their journey.
It's
And
their
that's what I
journey.
think is very important is that not to leave that out. They have a voice, they have a feeling, they have the reason that they're here. They're paying
Yes.
you to guide them in this journey. And I
Yes.
think to have that relationship, I know that because we've talked about this, that you definitely help a lot of the other professionals understand that the better the relationship with your student, the easier you're going to be able to succeed and have more students that want to compete with
Exactly.
you, and your business will
Exactly.
grow.
Yes, exactly. And you will establish such a stronger bond with your
Yes,
individually with each one of your student, which
correct.
comes with higher trust, which has
Yeah,
never have to take it for granted, never need to be taken advantage, because that's when you screw everything up. You gotta be
right.
reliable, and you've got to be genuine at all time. That's very important. And
Definitely.
there is a fine line between being confident and having and thinking to have the answer to everything.
Yes, being arrogant.
Confidence, be arrogant.
Yes. Yeah.
Confidence is when you have trust in your mindset, but you know that it will have to adapt to each individual you're talking to. So
Right.
you don't have the answer. You have the mindset to find the answer, and
Yeah.
you always have to be ready and willing to spend some time to find the right answer, to offer the proper solution.
Right.
Some people, depending on the personality, some people are scared to make a move because they're afraid to be wrong. Some other people
Mm.
are totally reckless and they go straight to where they need to go, they think they need to go, and they want to nail it at the first attempt. I think that it's important to find balance between these two,
Sure.
meaning confidence mean I think we should do this. Let's do it. Let's try. We don't go with the assumption that this is going to be the ultimate and the 100% of the most
Right.
great success. Is a willing.
Well, and let's do research too. I think that's what you're really
Yeah.
providing is you know, back in the day, let's say back in the day, our industry is that not that old, but the fact that we didn't really have resources like you to be able to say, well, I don't know how to guide my student. I just came in here. I was trained by a Fred Astaire system or an Arthur Murray system or an independent studio, and I just learned how to teach a cha-cha, right? And I don't know what competitions they should go to. I've barely been to, some teachers are new in this, but they're eager. Like you said, they want to kind of go for it. But it's a matter of providing them the resources. And I think that's what's so great about what you're doing is that you have the experience in doing this for many, many years with a very successful team of students. You've been top teacher multiple times, and done lots of things, but also you are able to provide resources in so many different areas like dresses, like the hydration stuff we'll talk about, and all these different things to tell the teacher, well, if you need help in this, this is where you should go. This is who you should talk to. This is how you can get more information. So you're not just throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what
No,
sticks,
no.
right? You're going into it and creating much more, educated decisions so you can
Yeah.
guide your student who is paying you with the best outcome.
Yes, exactly. And ultimately is about what you are willing to give. Like I have
Yeah.
helped people that have zero interest in providing support on the fashion look, on the look of the student.
Ah,
It's just not their thing. That's
right.
perfectly fine. The thing is how helpful you want to be for your student. Let's define that. You want to help her with what? Only with the cha-cha steps? Some people might want
Right.
just that. Most of the people, they want to be helpful on other stuff. Once you define how you want to help them, the question is, do you have the skills and the knowledge to actually be able to help these people with this?
Right.
If the answer is yes, great. Let's make a plan to understand how business-wise to make it fluent. You don't have the skill? No problem. Let's find who has the skills, and you can
Right.
partner with this person to still be able through you to provide that service. And this will always give the student will always be extra grateful for that. It will not, it is not the time to talk about it now, but for whoever is interested, my system on the fashion is also made in a way that the person that goes through and deliver this extra service to the student, it doesn't even represent an extra expense for the student. The system is made in a
Wow.
way that the teacher is rewarded for the value given without adding any extra cost to the client, to the student.
That's
And
amazing.
and
Which
this
we know is very hard to do because our industry, nickel and dimes, every single piece of it. And not, I don't want to say that in a bad way. It's a business, and
It's just the
everything
way.
down to the vendors, to the comps, to this, to that, everyone gets a cut. And so for you to not add an extra expense on top of that when the student's going to buy the dress anyway, that's very, very cool.
It took a lot of creativity and a lot of thinking, and it
Oh,
took
I bet.
mentorship to put it down in a way that makes sense.
Right.
But at the end of the day, is a choice, right? We could make a simple example. In real life, we have, I don't know, Tesla against BMW, right? So
Right.
Tesla doesn't stream on TV. They don't. They spend money not that way, and then they have a referral plan that when they refer a car, they get $1,000. And BMW, they spend a lot of money on going in television and sponsor people from the TV shows, movies, and stuff. Like it's a choice, right? It's perfectly
Right.
fine. They're both legit.
Right.
We want to be. My goal is to be as advanced, if we can say futuristic, as possible in a way that. In a way that basically only who really provides value gets, let's call it, a cut. I don't like to call it like that, but who brings something serious to the table
Right.
gets the cut, and not just a lot of throughs that don't necessarily bring any substantial and touchable um, value to the process.
Well, and I love that you brought that up, because I had a question that kind of went along with that is, with the professionals bringing so much value, basically they're teaching the students at the studio, which is bringing money to the studios. And then they're bringing them to the competitions, which is bringing money to the competitions. And they're cultivating new clients, bringing people, especially the franchises from the street on into our industry. Um, if these professionals understand, I don't want to say just hire you to work with you and you're the answer to all of it. If they understand the fundamentals of what you're trying to teach here and how this our customer service based industry,
Right.
um, I want you to paint a picture of like the success they can have in this industry. Like,
Yes.
what does this industry provide so much success, um, and personal growth and development to be able to provide for themselves, for their families,
Right.
right? From coming from another country where they could not have had these opportunities. This is a game changer for someone like that.
Yes.
I want you to kind of show, like, paint the picture of someone that is doing all of the right things, and then what does their life look like?
Yes, this is a great opportunity that you're giving me. Like, I like possibly to always speak through example. So,
Yeah.
but I spent really 1 minute on it.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
also
yeah.
have a business that has nothing to do with dances, that is about making weddings in Italy. Okay,
Okay.
has nothing to do with dance, but all the skills that I've learned and that I'm teaching professionals now to do it are the same exact skills that I use for any other kind of business that I want to do. I'm
Right.
preparing also something that is real estate related. What you do, you still use the same set of skills. Now, what's the amazing thing is that I have invested on myself $1,000 to learn a lot of skills, and
Right.
they never relate directly to ballroom, right? To ballroom dancing. So there was on my end a certain research for adapting all these skills to what is our industry, right? So
Right.
when a person get this from me or from whoever is training them, let's say these skills, then you do the opposite job. So from what you discovered and applicable immediately to your own dance business, then you take those skills and you make of yourself what you are meant to become, the person that you're meant to be,
Right.
the person you're meant to become. So one of the hardest thing to do with my coaching program was giving it a price, because if I have to
Right.
define the value, and I don't want to brag about this, it's not about bragging, but if I have to give a value to what this is and how this can change your life as a person, as an entrepreneur,
Mm-hmm.
then we need to go into the six figures kind of price, or
Right. Right.
seven,
Right. Right.
because literally you become an entrepreneur with all the set of skills that you need. The ones I prefer the most are the communication skill, mastering a conversation, and becoming a more confident person. So when you have these three
Well,
skills,
and working with other people,
working with other people,
customer relations, I think
customer
that's the thing.
relation.
What I love what you're talking about, because again, that's, we, Louis Barr, that's what he talks about as well, is, finding that brand, creating, taking all of your skills that you've learned and creating something else. But within our industry as well, you could be top teacher at multiple competitions because you have multiple students going with lots of entries, which increases your revenue for that competition. It also increases your expertise, right? You add that to your resume, right? You
Yeah.
now become
And
a
status.
sought after, right? A sought after professional instructor. You could be hired at another studio. You could open up your own studio, right?
Yes.
Which is very
Yeah.
entrepreneurial. You could end up,
You
becoming a
can own
judge.
your own competition. There
You
are
could
so
own
many
your own
things you can.
competition. You could become a judge. You could end up
Yes.
coaching nationwide. A lot of them,
If you are
the
still
judges,
active, you can compete, and therefore, there is all
you
the
can
competition that
compete.
also brings in income. It
Right.
shows. It
Shows. Yeah.
depends
Do
on
you
where
see
you
like
are
the
in life.
possibilities within our industry are so widespread as a professional to
Yes.
be able to create multiple streams, but that takes, as you said, I love what you said, communication. For someone who's going to hire you for a show, it takes confidence in putting yourself
Yes.
out there, and trusting that you can do the job, trusting that you can nurture your students, and they can then refer, oh, you have to dance with this teacher, he's great or she's great. And I think that's the thing, is that obviously the possibilities are endless, and as you say, the value of your program, or just the value of mentorship like this, not just
Yes.
necessarily you, but
Exactly.
someone,
Exactly.
mentorship in this way is so high valued because the possibilities financially of them creating financial abundance is
Yes.
really endless. The ceiling is,
Yes.
yeah, not
Yes, that's
there.
why, like I personally, I respect all kind of business, but I think that the training and the mentorship, I think, is more valuable when it's uh, from a coach or a mentor rather than, let's say, the studio owner that trains the people in the studio. Which again, I don't want to say anything bad about it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
absolutely,
yeah.
but I think I would rather create a program as I did, give the tools to the person so that as soon as possible, that person has the tools for using the way this person wants, with your own
Right.
consciousness, with your own ideas, with your own ambition. So the goal is not to, normally, of
Yes.
course, business wise, if you're training your employees, the goal is to keep them there for working, right? And so
Yes, yes,
it's
yes.
it's made, again, the logic behind is slightly different, and again, I respect that, but it's not my favorite way of seeing it. My favorite way is
Right.
I give you all the tools I can give you, and I know that as you master it, and I make sure step by step that you master all these skills, I make you have
Right.
action, I make you take action also, and I follow you
Yeah.
to that. Then, as soon as you are ready, you do it your own, and you do it with all your dreams, and you do with all your ambition, with all your visions, and you put it at
Mm-hmm.
use in with the timing that you take. There are people that take it faster. It's a transformation process, and sometimes it can be painful. So it's not necessarily
Right.
easy, But once you embrace that, then you see your life transforming in front of you. You see your bank account transforming in front of you. You see
Right.
in
Right.
the faces of your family members transforming.
Yes, your life begins to change. We
Yeah.
discussed earlier about the fact that this is a very male professional driven industry because a lot of women want to dance. That's really the only reason.
Yes.
Um, but there are tons of just as many male professionals, there are women professionals, and they are just as incredible. In fact, as they've mentioned on Dancing with the Stars, because they show the world, how difficult it is for a woman to teach a student, male student, to lead her when she's the
Yes.
professional. I always had students say the same thing to me. They're like, "But you're the professional. How am I supposed to lead you?" Um,
Well, I honestly enjoy so much more helping the lady teachers. I have no problems admitting it
Well, and that's what I
because
was going to say because I'm sure the value of what you're bringing can boost the female professionals in our industry even more because
that's
it can
right.
help them to create so much more business.
Another belief that I have, I will share, this is very personal belief, is that if we, instead of saying male and female, we identify this as masculine energy and feminine energy, I
Right.
would say we are miserable when we have only one and not the
Mm,
other within us and also in the environment. There must be a
right.
balance between masculine and feminine energy. So even though I agree with you that on a certain way, this business is more seems to be at the appearance more beneficial for men because there are more ladies that are looking on. But these ladies that they are, let's say, like pro-am students, they need a balance of masculinity and femininity coming in the picture. Also,
Right.
when you do a design for a dress, because we've been speaking about the dress, right? The teacher is usually a man that has the point of view
Right.
of from a man and a masculine energy, but you will always need the feminine touch into it, and the student in
Right.
the moment cannot put it herself, meaning she's too busy figuring out who she is. So you need a
Right.
professional
You
that
need,
supports. So that process. So we work with a lot of female teachers that we, if we speak
I love
about,
that.
if you're a professional teacher, female professional teacher, and you want to become a fashion consultant for your student, that's what we help you become. We help you
Love
become
that.
not only a
Right. So
dancer.
you're providing more opportunities for the women in our industry because, again, if,
Honestly, I feel more to women. Honestly, also the
yeah,
hydration
that's
program that
awesome.
we you mentioned before. We have an hydration program. I I started this community called Hydro Dancers that
Yes,
is
let's talk
about
about the hydration because that's the
yes,
thing I really love. I've got my water here. I'm always hydrating.
wonderful, good. Well, without spending too much time on the importance of hydration, which I think everybody understands, I a few years ago, exactly 2.5 years ago, I was introduced to this particular type of water that has three particular characteristics: the alkalinity, the microcluster, which means that is very hydrating, more than any other type of water, and the antioxidant power. So I was introduced to this kind of water, that water to be fully functional for your body has to have these three special characteristics. So I said, okay, cool. How do I get water that has this special characteristic? And I find out that there is this wonderful device that came in my life, again, as I said, 2.5 years ago, where I can have my own water spring at my own house and be
Yeah,
confident to constantly drink the best water I can. It can even travel with me through airplanes and airports, the only water that can do that. But again, there's a little details. I decided after about 1 year of drinking this water, that it so much changed my life that I said I start talking with professionals and just felt that I had to share this. So
wow.
eventually, I saw on myself, on my students, and on other professionals that this can actually change your performance, because
Wow.
the water is what cleans our body and keeps us the
Yeah.
most efficient possible. So um and a lot of lady teachers, they are I noticed that is there is a tendency, at least for what I could understand so far, ladies are a little bit more sensitive to the self-care, I think, than men. And so and they are also much better in explaining this. Like when I've been explained from a lady, and I can say it's so much more powerful that I can ever explain it.
We
But
just have to do so much more self-care
that's
throughout
what
our
it is.
whole life.
Yeah,
So we kind
through
of
your whole
have no
life,
choice but to be good
kind of
at it
have
because there's more that we have to pay attention to and maintain.
exactly. So hydro dancers is one of my favorite project in my business, because I look forward always to have professionals that want to become um, hydration consultant for people, that they
Right.
can teach, if they want, of course, if in their interest, how this water can actually change your dance and your life.
Amazing.
And of course there is a system that is well organized already, that basically makes sure that out of this, of course, there is eventually an income. But that's not really the thing that drives me. The thing that really
Hmm.
drives me is to spread this awareness about hydrogen water, that is such a game changer. And I think in the future is going to be, in the near future, is going to really explode, because this is something pretty new. there are a lot of government approved tests that shows the benefit of this water, but it's so new, and of course, this kind of thing takes some time to be, how to say,
To have data.
to have data enough to
Right.
put out there. So I
But
see
yeah,
my
we're in a
personal
wellness
experience.
movement, and like it's very important. I love this kind of information. I love everything that you're doing, but specifically with
Okay.
the water because it is this is the kind of information that I feel like is gate kept, right? That's the American word that we say is gatekeeping, where the government or the
Yes,
different
it's
people are
not.
not sharing this information with us. Even it's like, and then you find it and you're like, how did I not know about this? Or how did I know we're not
Exactly.
supposed to be drinking out of plastic, right? People are starting to become
Yes,
awake from all of these
yes,
things.
yes,
And so that's another reason why I wanted to create the dance wellness community was because there are so many things that my husband and I do in our day-to-day life, and I'm sure it's the same with you and your wife, that you can't tell everyone everything with one conversation or one
yes,
podcast. There needs to be a place where we can go, where we can
yes,
gather all of this information and categorize it so people can find what they're looking for,
right.
and they can actually utilize it in a way that's going to help them change their lives.
Right. Yes. And that's exactly what I'm trying to do here, and what I'm so
Yeah.
lucky to be surrounded by people that we become like-minded. And
Yes.
I when I coach people in the very beginning, they are my students, but in a very small amount of time, they become my partners, because because this transformation, I believe, is so powerful. And we dancers, we are people that we take risks. We are not,
Yeah.
we don't start from a I don't know, office work that we are used to. We are comfortable with a certain amount of risk. Therefore,
Right.
very quickly the transformation happens. Very quickly, who used to be my student, not dance wise, I'm talking about the business part, then they become my
Clients, your clients. Yeah,
my
yeah, yeah.
clients, that learn from me the skills of escalating their
They
business.
become
They,
like business
they
partners.
become
Right.
my partners, and then
Yeah,
it becomes, of course, I'm always there for an advice, but I learn from them a lot too.
of course.
And this is exactly what I think, this networking, this way of
Yeah.
joining a conversation and put on the table what we can provide so that everybody can benefit out of it, is what really drives me to move on. And
Yeah.
have this I'm always so hungry of learning new things, but I'm also so eager to give all what I know. And
Right.
we only need a system, and that's what I'm actively working at, so that this can uh, flow more easily, and really can arrive to everyone. That's why I'm also so impressed by what you do, and the wellness community,
Thank
because
you.
this is a great way of putting many different opportunities on the
Yes.
table for the
Right.
people that consider it relevant to what they are doing in the moment, for where they are in that moment. But again, a person needs something in the dance community, right? Go to dance wellness community, and you will most likely find
Right.
what you're looking for in that moment, right? And this is just amazing. So good job to you guys.
Thank you. Listen, that is exactly, you nailed it. That's exactly what we're trying to do. We're trying to be the bridge between you and the opportunities. I don't want people to say I would have done that if I would have known. I want them to know, and I want them to have the choice to do something, better their health, jump on a financial opportunity, partner with somebody, dress better, eat better,
Yes.
work out better, whatever it is, like you said, in the cards for you. I want people to have these experiences and these opportunities. And I am just one person. I work in my sector of coaching, and there are so many people that have so much more information than I do. And I
Exactly.
want I want everybody to experience that knowledge, from so many incredible people and like yourself. So thank you for being
Thank
here.
you.
Thank you for participating in this brand new, exciting adventure that is literally just getting started, but has so much potential, is very exciting. I know so many people that have already been asking me for this type of thing for so many years, and I just didn't really have the vehicle to be able to provide them with the value, because as you said, the value is the most important thing to us. And
Yes.
I didn't want to half-ass the value. I didn't want to just give something that was like, here you go. I wanted it to be, a full
Fine.
experience um,
Mhm.
of value in their life that they could take with them and they could start to see real changes.
That's one.
And that I think is exactly what you're doing in your programs as well in your businesses. And I think it's incredible. I think that, I the amateur students are the ones that are the clients of our industry. It's a customer service-based industry, but without our professionals, we don't have an industry. And so I think it's very important for what you're doing and what you're providing and creating this confidence and this knowledge and research that you can give people so that, because it's overwhelming. Sometimes they're like, I want to do this, but I don't know where to start. And I think what you're doing is you're giving them that, I know where to start. Here's your welcome packet and let's get going. So,
Exactly.
yeah,
And again, the first step, you said it right. The first step is really the most important one. And
right,
I really say my first step of the program is just about that, really understanding the first step. Then
right,
once you understand, some people don't even need to move on further. Some people, once they do you help them do the first step, they go immediately with their own legs. And when that happens, I'm happy. I don't think like, oh, I don't know. I should keep the client as long as my goal is to let you go with your own legs as soon as possible, as
right,
soon as
right, right, right,
possible, and to go
right,
next with the other person that need it. Then, of course, some people like to needs a more. My program is made in many stages, right? So that depending on where you want to arrive, you can always have support. But again, my first goal is to transform people to become who they were always meant to be, so that then they can
yeah,
start giving to the world and to the universe all what they can give. um, and I've not changed that person. I've only give a little push, and
right.
now you are you. That's it.
Absolutely. Well, for those of you who want to know more about Oreste, his program, his team, everything that he does, everything is in the show notes, all the links, his bio, everything, so you can get a better idea of what he does and how you can get connected with him. Of course, joining the inner circle of our membership program is where you're going to have even more access to our practitioners. We're going to be doing live calls. We have our monthly newsletters. We have, even a free gift. We've got community support, so many things. We're going to start doing some live events at competitions. I mean, the possibilities are endless here, and we're very, very excited to have you aboard and to see where this all can go. We're going to help so many people.
Yes, I'm very excited, and again, thank you so much. It's been very very fast to hour, so thank you for
Yes.
the chat we had, and again, congratulations on the amazing job you're doing.
Thank you so much. I very much appreciate you, and we will see you guys next time.
The secret is out and wow. Uh-huh.